Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel where we explore timeless stories with heart and clarity. Today, we're diving into a tale that reminds us some of the greatest battles aren't won with brute force, but with unexpected courage and a deep trust in something bigger than ourselves. This is the story of Gideon and the battle won without a sword. Imagine, if you will, a time when the people of Israel lived under the shadow of fear. For 7 long years, their crops were raided, their livestock stolen, by a powerful, seemingly endless army called the Midianites. Life was hard, filled with scarcity and a constant sense of dread. Their spirit was broken, their hope flickering. It's in this moment of despair that we meet Gideon. Not a mighty warrior, but a man paralyzed by fear, hiding, threshing wheat in a winepress to keep it safe from the raiders. He was terrified, constantly looking over his shoulder, his heart pounding with every rustle in the wind. He felt small, insignificant. Yet to him, an angel of the Lord appeared with a startling message. "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." Mighty warrior, Gideon couldn't believe it. He was full of doubt, his voice trembling as he questioned. But as God reassured him, we see a flicker in Gideon's eyes, a spark of resolve igniting in his fearful heart. He began to bravely ask for signs, not out of distrust, but to firmly grasp the incredible truth of God's call. God then did something truly astonishing. He told Gideon to reduce his army. Imagine that! From 32,000 men, a number already small compared to the Midianites, God whittled it down to just 300. 300 men against an army so vast it was like locusts in the valley. It seemed illogical, impossible. Yet Gideon, growing in courage with every step of faith, obeyed. He stood before his dwindling army not with terror, but with a new, quiet strength, trusting God's unconventional plan. On a dark, moonless night, Gideon and his 300 men surrounded the Midianite camp. Each man carried a trumpet, an empty jar, and a torch hidden inside. With a steady hand and a brave heart that now knew no fear, Gideon gave the signal. They all simultaneously blew their trumpets, smashed their jars, and held up their burning torches, shouting, "A sword for the Lord and for Gideon." The Midianites, jolted awake by the sudden, overwhelming sensory assault, were plunged into absolute pandemonium. Imagine being roused from a deep sleep by thunderous trumpet blasts, blinding flashes of light, and shouts from every direction. In the pitch black of night, unable to see clearly, they couldn't tell who was who. Their own shadows morphed into menacing enemies, and panic took hold. Each soldier, convinced they were under attack from all sides, turned their weapon on the nearest form, tragically striking down their own comrades. The Midianite camp became a scene of horrifying, self-inflicted chaos, a whirlwind of mistaken identity and desperate survival, as they annihilated their own forces. All the while, Gideon's small band of 300 stood their ground, silent witnesses to the chaos their simple actions had unleashed, their trumpets still blaring, their lights shining, watching in quiet awe as God's plan unfolded before their very eyes. By morning, the great Midianite army was scattered, defeated, not by the sword of Israel, but by the strategic brilliance of God. Gideon's story echoes through the ages, not just as a historical event, but as a profound truth for our own lives. It reminds us that often the obstacles we face seem insurmountable, and our own resources feel utterly insufficient. But it's precisely in those moments, when we step past our fear and surrender our limited understanding, that we create space for something far greater to work. True strength isn't always about wielding the biggest sword. Sometimes it's about daring to trust in a plan beyond our comprehension, to find courage in vulnerability, and to believe that even the smallest light can scatter the deepest darkness. What impossible battle are you facing today? Perhaps like Gideon, the victory awaits not in your strength, but in your faith. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and share.